जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि ये सिंपोजियम आज आर्ट, कल्चर और बहुत सारी विधाओं को लेकर किया जा रहा है। सिखलेंस का ये प्रयास है कि बहुत सारे लोग जो हैं इससे जुड़े और बहुत सारी चर्चा हो, जैसे कि समाज में एक विकसित सोच हम सब तक खर्च कर जाए, जैसे कि हम कहें कि हम उत्थान में एक हिस्सा बन रहे हैं। पहला जो सेशन है हमारा Bridging Divides में the art of shaping public perception through new media approaches and interfaith understanding to engage the new generation। एक बार पैनलिस्ट के लिए जोरदार तालियां और ओवर की चीजों से।
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Well, आज जो symposium है, first of all, congratulations to the organizers, Bicky who is here, and the visionary and the person who is carrying this flag of leadership for Sikhlens in this region, of course, Ojasweee Sharma. So thank you very much, and thanks for all of you that you are here. And it talks well through new media approaches and interfaith understanding to engage the new generation. Now there are different aspects to this topic, but I believe that the mast of this discussion topic is bridging divides. Now this is something, an area of discussions. It requires the strategy as to how we can bridge the divide, especially when our world is going through a lot of strife, a lot of personal differences and global differences. And there are very skewed perceptions about this world around us, about our faith, our religion, our thought processes, which we try to impose on others. So I believe that that is the essence, or that is the beginning of whatever the strife this world is facing today. So not taking much of your time, we got a great panelist with us. Rampreet, you must have seen her on PTC News, and she has been taking care of the international affairs, world news, and I believe that she has been interacting with the people from all across the globe, and especially the Punjabis. And we have the author and investigative reporter, Jupinderjit Singh, and his book, I think, Who Killed Busewala. I think it has also been turned into a movie. And of course, his most popular investigation and the first book was on the pistol of Bhagat Singh. So that is the one. It was quite a journey that you were able to search it out. And of course, we have Hardeep Chandpuri, who is at the moment CEO of Capital FM, but he had been associated with radio for so long that almost become an ambassador of radio around the globe, because he had been in Australia, he had been in Canada, and in Chandigarh. In Chandigarh, I have been able to have this opportunity of working with him in 2004, 2002 onwards, and to set up a radio buzz here. So it's a big journey, great journey with Hardeep and all the panelists, and we will take up one by one, because I think the crucial question which we were talking about was that how to engage, how to inspire the new generation about this interfaith concepts. Can we engage them? Can we involve them? So, first of all, I'll ask Rampreet, in your interactions with the people, with the youngsters also, how do you look at this area, that whether you feel that the new generation is ready to accept the interfaith concept as such, which we intend to promote amongst the new generation in order to create a better world for future generation?
So, perception media बदल सकती है. Media ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੀ ਤਾਕਤ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ perception ਨੂੰ ਬਦਲ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ. ਸੋ ਪਰਸੈਪਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਰਿਸਕ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਕੋਈ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਰਿਸਕ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵਲੀ ਜਲਦੀ ਮੀਨਸ ਕਿ ਧੂਮ ਫੜੇਗੀ ਤੇ ਪੋਜ਼ਿਟਿਵਲੀ ਘੱਟ ਫੜੇਗੀ। ਸੋ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪਰਸੈਪਸ਼ਨ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੀ ਤਾਕਤ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਇੱਕ ਖੂਬਸੂਰਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਚੇਂਜ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਨਿਊ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਹੈ।
But do you think that the new generation is consuming the hardcore media, like the print media or even for that matter the television, especially when they have the access to new media in their hands? They are using more, depending upon more on mobile content.
Actually sir, ਇਹ ਦੋ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਗਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਟੀਵੀ ਨੂੰ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਪੇਅਰ ਕਰੀਏ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਵੱਡੇ ਬ੍ਰਾਂਡ ਤੋਂ ਜਿਸ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ BTC ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਤੋਂ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਇੱਕ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਡੀ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸਿਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਗਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਰਿਪਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਕੋਈ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਿਤੇ ਨਾ ਕਿਤੇ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਸਾਡੀ ਇੱਕ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸਿਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਕਰੈਕਟ ਜਾਏ, ਉਹਦੀ ਐਕੂਰੇਸੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹੋਏ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਇੱਕ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਹਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਜੋ ਆ ਤੇ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੋਈ ਸੈਂਸਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚਲਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਲਾ ਸਕਦੇ, ਉਹ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਚਲਾ ਰਹੇ ਮੀਨਸ ਹਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਉੱਥੇ ਚੱਲ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਯੂਥ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਜਾ ਤੇ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਤੇ ਨਾ ਕਿਤੇ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਗਲਤ ਰਸਤੇ ਵੱਲ ਵੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਅਸੀਂ YouTube ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਅਸੀਂ Instagram ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਅਸੀਂ Facebook ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਟੀਵੀ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਚੱਲੇਗੀ ਇੱਕ ਵੱਡੇ ਬ੍ਰਾਂਡ ਦੀ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਚੱਲੇਗੀ ਉਹ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਐਕੂਰੇਟ ਹੋਏਗੀ। ਸੋ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਨਿਊ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰਿੰਟ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਵੱਲ ਘੱਟ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਸਿਰਫ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਉੱਪਰ ਬੈਠੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਕੀ, ਹੁਣ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਕੀ, ਹੁਣ ਐਸਟਰੋ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾਂ ਅਗਰ ਮੈਂ ਰੀਲ ਬਣਾਉਂਗਾ ਤੇ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਲੱਗੇਗਾ, ਲੋਕ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਣਗੇ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹੀ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਚੀਜ਼ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਸਾਡੀ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਮਿਲੇਗੀ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਅਸਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਐਕੂਰੇਟ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਉਹ ਜਿਹਾ ਸੈਂਸਰ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਰੋਕ ਸਕਣ।
Yes, you are right. We'll come to that later. But definitely, earlier the print media was there, the radio was there. These were managed by the people who were either trained professionally or had an experience in handling the content of all those media. But Jupinderjit, you've been the deputy editor with the Tribune also. Do you find any challenge that the printed media is losing its readership?
It would be unfair if I speak just about Tribune because I'm not supposed to. But yeah, the print circulation is in serious trouble. The youngsters are not reading. What about newspapers? I don't think they are reading much. But when you look back, for any given sample of population, about 10% people only read, right? So now that number has come below 10%. The younger generation is hooked to social media, YouTube, Reels, and all that, They want everything fast and maybe, that's what the world is. And that is where, the topic is so important about perception.
Right.
And interfaith, So India has emerged out of so much of a religious divide and all. So where the media, now it's up to us how to change their perception about themselves only.
That's very right. You have talked about the divide which is emerging in the country and across the globe.
Yeah.
Across the globe also. But how much is the media taking cognizance of these facts, or what is the trends which are happening around the globe? Is the print media reacting to the requirements of the new generation?
I think, we have been talking about how the main media, the print media or the established channels like hers, they have to be responsible so that we can tell people that whatever is appearing on social media is true or false. Fake news, fake platforms, fake letters, so many things are being circulated. So we have been talking about this, that we as representative of the traditional media have to be responsible. But I think now time has come where the viewer or the reader has to become responsible. he has to see, there are so many platforms. Every YouTuber is a journalist now. Every YouTuber is an editor now. So it boils down to the viewer and the reader now that which platform he is going to trust, or is he going to blindly trust. उनके लिए कुछ आ रहा है, somewhere about say there was a letter by a controversial MP. So it was all over the social media yesterday. So there was a fake letter about him and it was being circulated in YouTube. And no one bothered to check it till we called up his family, his lawyer, that is this his letter or not. And then we did the story that the letter is fake. And that did so well, it got so many hits. So that is our job, we are being paid for it. But the reader also has to be discernible now, that he can't blindly follow these things.
Yes, you are very right, because through the social media we get the children, especially the new generation, to follow a narrative which is being served to them, whether it's fake or false. Or we have got limited sources to check out the veracity of any particular information. But definitely for a media like a radio, where the news is being broadcast around the clock, and there are events which are happening, and Hardeep, you have had the experience of working with the US radio stations and also experiencing them. So how do you find that the radio had been taking care of this kind of a responsibility, especially in times of crisis or in times which you feel that the information can divide the community?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sikhlens, for having me here. I'll give you a personal example. I was in New Jersey when 9/11 happened. I was around 40 minutes away. As I went to work the same morning, a white guy throws a can of Coke on my car, moving car. The can was half open, so it spilled on my windscreen, and it was okay, fair enough. They have a right to do that. There was so much of hatred, visible hatred, against people of brown color, and especially for people having headgear. When I talk about headgear, it could be the Arabs, it could be us, it could be anybody for that matter, even the Jews. So what happened? There was a radio station called New Jersey 101.5. They opened up the lines. They said, if you have any problem, if you have any issues against anybody, just give us a call. The lines were manned by two radio DJs or DJs. We don't call them radio jockeys there, we call them DJs. So they were Scott and Casey. I had seen both of them at a mall, at a function there. And I was a little not very comfortable walking up to them and talking to them. Because for me, they were those Harley Davidson types, bald, with a mustache and with leather jackets and chains and that kind of stuff, And they were manning these phone lines. And you'll be surprised to know, I have the recordings with me. They would talk and tell people, look, Islam does not say go and blow up America. There was this lady who said, why do Muslims hate us? She said, you are a little white Christian woman living in Mercer County. You have no clue what happens around the world. So these are all fringe elements. They're not, you can't paint everybody with the same brush. Same applied to us also. And that was so reassuring. We have seen radio working as a mode of entertainment, of news, everything. But for the first time, I saw radio as a healer. And that thing went on for 3 days in a row, with the different people taking on the calls. And everybody had only one thing to say: if you want to learn something, go to the library, go on the internet, find about other religions, know them, and understand them, and don't have hatred towards anybody. So that was what was a unique experience for me, and I think that will stay with me forever. If anybody wants to listen to that, you can contact me. I'll make you listen to the recording that I have.
So that's great. Yeah, media is a healer. But do you think that radio, as we look at it in the current moment, have the people, especially the new generation, has gone beyond the entertainment part of it, and whether these FM radios are fulfilling their responsibility to the society?
Sadly, no. Especially the private radio stations all over the country. They have trivialized radio. Radio was not meant to be what it is. रेडियो पर कोई सेटिंग नहीं होनी चाहिए, रेडियो पर किसी को मुर्गा नहीं बनाना चाहिए. That is not what it was meant for. It was for pure entertainment. The basic idea was a radio station runs in approximately 20 kilometers. A small confectionery guy could come and place their ad there. If a dog is lost or a car is stolen, you could come and get it announced there. That was the concept. It is not that radio jockeys keep on chattering non-stop or ads के बीच में आपको कुछ गाने सुनने को मिल जाए. So radio in its present form has gone astray, and I hope and pray that the day comes when they listen and they work towards their responsibility towards society. Earning profits is okay, but there is something you have to look at the mirror when you wake up in the morning. And when you look up and see that person, you have to ask that person, have you done something for the people today, or you just are working just for your job? So I guess a long way to go, but I think some stations are taking baby steps. They are more conscious about what they play. I'm running a radio station here. There's a very popular Pink Floyd song, We Don't Need No Education. I personally have not put it into my playlist. On one side, the government says all children should be educated. How can I play that song where they say, where they're singing, we don't need no education, we don't need no thought control. Teachers leave the kids alone. We can't do that. That is my personal responsibility as the CEO of the radio station, and I hope and pray that the other radio stations also take note of it and they stop playing songs or content that is not okay with today's societal norms.
Thank you very much, Hardeep. Yeah, that's a responsibility. You talked about the responsibility of the new generation also to, sift the kind of information which is being served to them. But you have been doing news programs and other international affairs programs. What do you feel that whether the new generation is really unbiased in their opinion, or do you feel they are not properly educated or informed to talk about those topics?
Actually, sir, ये दौर ये हो जाए कि जिਵੇਂ ਆਪਾਂ सोशल मीडिया ਤੇ देखते हैं कि हर कोई सोच रहा है कि मैं फेमस हो जाऊं. ਹੁਣ ਲਾਈਵ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਮਿਲੀ ਹੈ ਮਹਾਕੁੰਭ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਮੋਨਾਲਿਸਾ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਗਾਲੀਆਂ ਵੇਚਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਨੂੰ, ਪਰ ਇਹ ਖੂਬਸੂਰਤੀ ਨੂੰ ਵੇਖ ਕੇ ਉਹ ਲੋਕੀ ਇੰਪ੍ਰੈਸ ਹੋਏ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਫੇਮਸ ਹੋ ਗਏ. ਇਹ ਤੇ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਇੱਕ ਪੋਜ਼ਿਟਿਵ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ. ਲੇਕਿਨ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਕੁਝ ਲੋਕ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਸਟੈਪਸ ਉਠਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਨੂੰ ਹਿੱਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ. ਕਿ ਮੀਨਸ ਕਈ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਬਾਉਂਡਰੀਜ਼ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ. ਸੋ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਨਿਊ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਉਹ ਬਾਉਂਡਰੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਕ੍ਰੋਸ ਕਰ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਬਾਉਂਡਰੀ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ. ਸੋ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਬਹੁਤ ਰਿਸਕੀ ਹੈ. ਇੱਕ ਪਾਸੇ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਚਾਂਸ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਖੜੇ ਹੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲਾਈਵ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ. ਦੂਸਰੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੁਝ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਰਿਸਕ ਦੇ ਸਕਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ. ਸੋ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਨਿਊ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਨਾ ਹਿੱਟ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ आपके टूथपेस्ट में नमक है. और नमक ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵਰਡ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਟੂਥਪੇਸਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਮਕ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਹੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੀਤ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਵਾਈਟ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ. ਸੋ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹਿੱਟ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕੋਈ ਵਰਡ ਕੋਈ ਹਿੱਟ ਕਰੇਗਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਏਗੀ. ਸੋ ਨਿਊ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੇਖਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹਿੱਟ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ. ਉਹ ਕਿਤੇ ਨਾ ਕਿਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹਿੱਟ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ. ਸੋ ਬਾਇਸਡ ਔਰ ਅਨਬਾਇਸਡ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਚੀਜ਼ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਟੀਵੀ ਤੇ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਸੋਸ਼ਲ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਤੇ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਹ ਕਿਤੇ ਨਾ ਕਿਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਉਹ ਹਿੱਟ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ.
Jupinderjit, quickly, can you suggest what should be the responsibility of the media insofar as the new generation is concerned? Though, of course, we have the limitations and the areas which are confined and defined by the media we work with. Now, for example, the print media itself also is getting into the social media sector. So how do you feel that the print media is performing that role to educate, inform the new generation?
You see, print media has to venture into social media because that's where the advertisement is. And if we'll earn revenue, only then we'll be able to bring out a newspaper. Otherwise not. So we have to do it. Rest, this debate between old and new generation, hey, hamesha chalda hai. When we were new generation, ਸਾਡੇ parents ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਤੋਂ ਉਨੇ ਦੁਖੀ ਸੀਗੇ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ younger generation ਤੋਂ ਦੁਖੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ. ਪਰ what we older, elder people, wise people can do is कि we can look that young generation ਕੀ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ. So young generation ਦੇਖ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ reels. So we need to educate them through reels. फॉर एग्जाम्पल बहुत अपन सारे सिख हिंदू जो भी हैं अपन अपने रिलीजियस स्क्रिप्चर्स जो ओरिजिनल लैंग्वेज ने वो समझ नहीं आते जे ਆਪਾਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਆ ਆਪਣਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਫੋਕਸ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਸਹੀ ਪੜੋ ਕੋਈ ਗਲਤੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਸੋ that is a scare because of which people like me don't try to read it so now but when I see on Instagram among all the things happening there ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਦਾ ਨਾ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ just a couplet and ਉਸ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਵਿਆਖਿਆ ਹੈ which is in a language in which I understand so ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ younger generation ਨੂੰ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਰੀਲਸ ਦੇਣੀਆਂ ਪੈਣੀਆਂ ताकि वो उसको समझें क्योंकि this is the media which they are following
एक्चुअली ਅਸੀਂ ਨਾ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਚ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰ ਰਾਏ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਹਰ ਰਾਏ ਨੂੰ ਕੰਨਾ ਈੜੀ ਨੂੰ ਸਿਆਰੀ ਰਾਈਟ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਨਿਊ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਕਿ ਈੜੀ ਨੂੰ ਸਿਆਰੀ ਕਿਉਂ ਔਰ ਰਾਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਕੰਨਾ ਈੜੀ ਨੂੰ ਲਾ ਪਾਉਂਗੇ ਸੋ ਕੁਝ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਦੀਆਂ ਵਰਡਸ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਲਾਸਟ ਵਰਡ ਹੈ ਉਹਦੇ ਚ ਸਿਆਰੀ ਪਏਗੀ ਰਾਈਟ ਸੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰ ਰਾਏ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਲਿਖਾਂਗੇ ਉਹ ਰਾਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਕਰਨਾ ਈੜੀ ਨੂੰ ਸਿਆਰੀ ਹੋਏਗੀ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਚੱਲੇਗਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਪਰ ਨਿਊ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਦੀ ਮੀਰੀ ਪੀਰੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਕਿ ਮੀਰੀ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਪੀਰੀ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਆਉਣੀਆਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਅਗਰ ਆਪਣੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਇਨਹਾਂਸ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਆਪਣੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਨਾ ਪਏਗਾ ਸੋ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਪੜਾਂਗੇ ਜਾਂ ਉਸ ਬੜੀ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੀ ਜਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਸਾਖੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਚੱਲੇਗਾ ਕਿ ਰਾਜੇ ਨੂੰ ਈੜੀ ਨੂੰ ਸਿਆਰੀ ਕਿਉਂ ਸੀ
Very rightly said. In fact, there's a lot of interpretations because we are talking of the interfaith, and I believe that Sikhism is one such faith. I won't call it as a religion because it was never meant to be a religion. Sikhi is to be a Sikshak, to always open to learn things, assimilate the knowledge and expertise of different faiths and the thoughts processes and generate an idea that we are one, which starts with the first word which is there in every Shabad, Ek Onkar. That we are all a part of the universe and whatever it's a God within us and there is a God which is in everything around us in this universe. So that oneness is perhaps what Sikhi teaches us, and I believe that that the one thing, the last word, of course I'll come to Hardeep, but what we have lost is the art of telling stories. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਨੀਆਂ ਦਾਦੀਆਂ ਜੋ ਕਹਾਣੀਆਂ ਸੁਣਾਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ we have lost that art and that was what interfaith was all about. They used to tell us about different faiths and different people, not different religions. What do you say, Hardeep? Last word for you.
Simple writing is the most difficult thing to become. We find complex writing that is available, but there is no simple writing that people are able to find. So we need to have that. We need to have characters which people identify. Why is it we can still identify with N-Britain characters or Adi boys who lived many continents away? So we need to create such characters that ring well with today's generations. And my last thing would be, please, मैं सारे सिंगरां ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਦੋ ਕਿ drugs ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਨਾ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨ ਆਪਣੇ ਗਾਣਿਆਂ 'ਚ, ਹਥਿਆਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਾ ਕਰਨ, ਅੱਗੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਕੁਝ ਉਜੜ ਚੁੱਕਿਆ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਰਹਿ ਗਿਆ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਨਾ ਉਜਾੜ ਦੇਣ। ਇਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਪਲੇਟਫਾਰਮਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਇਹੀ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਸਿੰਗਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਐਕਟਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਔਰ ਰੱਬ ਅੱਗੇ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਹੀ ਰੱਖਣ।
Thank you, Hardeep. Thank you, Rampreet. Thank you, Jupinderjit. It's been such a wonderful talk to you, but I know that there is a limitation of the time. But let's continue with the discussion and maybe we'll learn much more. Thank you so much. You have been a great audience.
एक सवाल आपसे पूछेंगे हम, with the rise of digital media and AI-driven content, how can we ensure that interfaith narratives and diverse cultural perspectives remain authentic and impactful in sharing public perception?
I think there's a lot depends upon we as individuals, the elders, that whatever the perception which we are creating, it is through our own behavior. I went to a school and there was something, the teachers were complaining that the students don't listen. The youngsters are not listening to you. So I think it has got a message. Because one youngster stood up and he says, कि हम वाकई में सुनते नहीं हैं, हम देखते हैं. You know, your behavior, you have to become the ambassadors for the youth, for the new generation, through not by what we talk, but what we represent. What is our ethos, what are our values, whether that is visible in our behavior on day-to-day basis. I think that forms the perception for the youngster. They need not be told in words. So that is a lesson. I believe that this is what the perception.
Try to add that, you know, जितनी भी marketing हुई है, सारी aim to make us powerless. तो तुसी TV जड़ा इत्थे जाके नहीं बंद करना, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹੱਥ 'ਚ remote ਆ ਰਿਹਾ, so you're not moving. ਹੁਣ ਪੱਖਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵੀ remote ਹੈ, now there is a Google control. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ ਬੈਠੇ ਹੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ lights on off ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ, AC on off ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ. So first we were made physically powerless, and now we are being made mentally powerless through AI, and AI is a very dangerous thing. ਜਿਹੜੇ population ਪੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਰਾਜ਼ੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨੇ ਸਿਰਫ prompts ਪਾਣੇ ਨੇ. So prompts ਪਾ ਦੇਣਗੇ, what is saying, what is the difference between Hindus and Sikhs. So ਜੇ ਉਸਨੇ article ਚੱਕ ਲੇਗੀ, Hindus and Sikhs are the same. So that person, that youngster will write that only. So AI बहुत dangerous चीज है, and unless and until there is a fact check on AI, because I have tried to use it in my profession and there were like disastrous results.
Yes, AI is nothing but whatever the elders or the adults are training that AI to respond to. If we are able to generate content which is more inclusive and which is more future oriented, and I believe that that perceptions can also be managed in that way.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, बहुत अच्छी ये डिस्कशन रही और इसमें हमने ये जाना कि परसेप्शन से क्या कुछ होता है, लेकिन फिर भी हमें सोचना होगा कि सोशल मीडिया से क्या हम गेन कर सकते हैं. तो बड़ी सारी ऐसी चीजें होती हैं जो सोशल मीडिया में अफवाह ही होती है. हम अगर थोड़ी सी अपनी सोच डेवलप करेंगे, ध्यान नहीं देंगे छोटी छोटी बातों पे, और जो रील्स रोज बनती है, रोज हमको लड़ाती है, शायद वो कम होने लगेगी. बहुत शुक्रिया आपका. मेरा अनुरोध रहेगा ओजस्वी शर्मा से कि वो आए, जो एक कैलेंडर है सिखलेंस की ओर से.